walkthrough, playthrough, review, anything like that. It's just me playing the game badly so you can see what it looks like.
Hello! Yes, I'm wearing the same t-shirt. No, it's not tomorrow yet. It's like half an hour after I recorded that last video that you watched yesterday. I've got another system review with a little bit of gameplay. It's a little bit different in that it's an Atari Flashback. It is a plug and play with all the built-in games. The interesting thing about this is technically this is a fami clone. Unlike the later Flashback 2, which used an Atari on a chip, and with some mods, if you could mod it and put a cartridge slot into it and it would play proper Atari games. This is, or uses, a NES on a chip, and the games on here are not... The Flashback 2, it's playing Atari ROMs. The games that appeared on the original Atari 2600 are what is playing on the Flashback 2. The games that are playing on here, while they are versions of popular Atari 2600 games, are not Atari 2600 ROMs. They're ports. The games have been rewritten for the NES on a chip. Does that matter? Yeah, it does actually. You'll see when I play it. Some of them it doesn't matter. Some of them look entirely authentic and are absolutely fine. Some of them aren't. And certainly in one game in particular I find it a crying shame. But we'll get to that later. What can I tell you about this? Made in China. Not actually made by Atari. I can't remember the name of the company who make them. I can't remember the name of the guy who designed it, though I have exchanged emails with him because he asked me to have a look at a thing that he was working on, which never actually appeared on the market in the end, which is a shame. I don't know what happened to that. It sounded interesting. So it's a very simple piece of kit in that power button there, reset button there, video and audio out, power in. You do get a power supply with it. You also get two of these, which these are actually the nicest thing about it. They're a little bit, they're based on the, what do they call them, Pro line I think, or something like that. The joysticks that came with the 7800 in America. We got a little 2-button joy pad in the UK. We didn't get these, though you could buy them separately, and something like these came with some of the junior 2600s. But this is lovely. This is the nicest Atari compatible joypad I've ever used. I don't know, I hope this would work on a 7800 and maybe even a 2600, because it's bloody excellent. I love it. It's just got this feel to it that is so, it's kind of damped slightly. You've got a select and pause buttons on there, twin buttons on either side. I guess they do different things given that 7800 games use 2 buttons. Yes, that is the thing. This isn't just 2600 games, it has some 7800 games on there as well, allegedly. That is where you really run into the NES on a chip effect, and you're thinking, is that really a 7800 game? Don't know. Just for those who are interested, I mean, the design of this is based on the 7800 shape. But you may wonder, actually, how big is it? You can kind of tell, given that it's in my hand. Quite often you'll see photos of them and think, wow, that's probably about the same size as a 7800 then. No, it really isn't. Here's a 7800. Here's an Atari Flashback. There is a big size difference going on there. Very big difference. These are tiny, these aren't. Okay. Let's go and plug that thing in and see what we think. I kind of have, I played it once. but I shall kind of reassess it while I'm playing and say what I think while I'm doing it, because that's what I do, and you know that by now. Right then, here we are at the menu screen, and straight away you can tell that's no Atari screen. That's a NES screen. I have come across that vertical bar type effect that I think the camera is just about picking up. It's very accentuated on the TV, and it's also got that funny kind of jagged vertical line thing going on the edges of the blue. Just kind of going through the games that we could play. We'll start at the start. I'm not going to play all of them, but there are some. Maybe I will play all of them. Who knows? Adventure. Okay, we'll. Can you see on the one and the lines? Oh God, that's bright. There are jagged lines that you wouldn't get. Oh, it's like creeping pixels. You wouldn't get that on the Atari. That's a NES feature. I need that sword. Where is it? There's a sword around somewhere. It's going to be in there, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, this is a fantastic game. I love this game. The fact that you've got that NES-like creeping pixel thing going on the edges doesn't matter. On this game, it's irrelevant. It's a minor detail that tells you this isn't actually proper Atari hardware, but it doesn't matter. The game is absolutely playable, and that's all that matters. Can we reset from it? Oh God, that's horrible. Let's reset from here. SE Battle. Yuck. Again, you've got that. Did you have the pixelated effect on the original Atari game? I think you just have more colours, didn't you? I think, which makes this look absolutely bloody horrible. I'm not going to play it. It's not a particularly fun game. Asteroids. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, this is Atari 7800 Asteroids, and it is based on Asteroids on the Atari 7800, and it's actually, I've got better picture quality on on this than I get on my 7800. I think there are fewer colours here. So it's kind of it's a mixed bag, really. You've got better image quality in terms of there's none of that weird interference that I get on my 7800, but there are, I'm pretty sure, fewer colours here, which makes it pretty, yeah. Oh. Yeah, well. Now, Battlezone, my favourite Atari 2600 game. I love that game. They got the balance perfect, and they ruined it. They have truly ruined it. Brightness needs altering here. Yeah, it looks the same to a degree, except you've got those lines that, oh no, those lines that show you the movement. That's what's wrong with it. They have ruined it, because when the enemy tanks spawn, straight away they're pointing at you. And on 2600 Battlezone, when they spawn, they're not facing you. They're turned sideways on, and you've got a chance to kill them. On here, oh, come off it. It's like it starts at a much later level. Have we got difficulty things on here? There's no difficulty setting on here. No. Wrecked, ruined, totally tragic, because that on the 2600 is a fantastic game. Sad. Breakout. Now this is entirely playable. though it's probably still better on the 2600 because you can play with the paddle, where here I'm playing it with a stick. But, whoops. Yeah, I was going to say I'm doing alright, but clearly I'm not. But it's got nice... Oh. I was going to say it's got nice quick responses. Yeah, the controls have nice quick responses. Unfortunately, the player doesn't. It's not bad, though. This I think is going to be 78. Yes, this is 7800 centipede, which was a vast improvement over 2600 centipede in terms of graphics. Gameplay on the 2600 is pretty good. This, yeah, it's kind of. Is it low? Is the NES on a chip lower resolution than a 7800? It feels like it is playing this, but I could be wrong. It just isn't very nice. It plays fine though. It's playing. That's not a bad version of Centipede, to be fair. Regardless of how the graphics feel, the game is fine. Can't really fault it. Oh, Crystal Castles, yeah. Oh God. Alright, I can't even make this thing move where I want it to. It's This was played with a trackball in the arcades, which was kind of weird. But this is, I don't know. I haven't played this on the 2600, so I don't know. I don't know how this compares with that. But in its own right, whoops, playing it here, it's horrible. I remember bad reviews of that, and I'm seeing exactly why it got those. Desert Falcon. Don't know what that is. Ugh. Okay. Well, that's going to be a 7800 game, isn't it? Oh. Yeah. That. Oh God. No, words are failing me. That's bloody awful. It's a flickery mess. I can't seem to control. Half the time when I want to go left, I'm going down when I don't wanna. Like that. I'm pushing left, but it's going down. It's. Ugh. That's crap. That's truly crap. Yard's Revenge. We'll give that a go. Classic game. Let's see if they've wrecked it. What? Okay. This seems to work. Ooh. Oh. That's it, yeah. It took me a while to remember how this game works. You've got to be in this funny beam, blobby thingy area, and you're protected from the, from that dot that's running around. But then, that thing can get you wherever you are. Come on, shoot that. You sod off. Arse. Anyway, yeah, there's that. That's not a bad conversion. Warlord, Sprintmaster, Solaris, what's that? Oh yes, this. It's a bit like Buck Rogers, except it does this as well, which is confusing, and this is even more confusing. You got to put yourself where stuff is going on, and I don't know what the hell. Oh. No, I have no idea what's going on. It's one of those where you would probably do well to read the instructions. I almost certainly have instructions somewhere, probably still in the box. I should add that the box this flashback comes in is really nice. It's like actually they spent more time on the box than on the games, maybe. Perhaps I'm being unfair, but I'm not. That's not working for me at all. What's Sprint Master? Hello, this could be interesting. Oh. Which one am I? I've got no idea. Okay, I'm the red one, because that's the one that's out of control. Oh, oh. Alright. Traction. Yay. Because you need traction. Come on, move. Don't know what that was. Whoops, whoops. Yeah. I don't know what console this was on originally. I mean, is this an Atari 2600? It can't be a 7800 one. Never played this before. It's fairly awful. I remember playing things like this in the arcade. Winner, yay. Millipede. Haunted House. Actually, Haunted House is kind of alright. Gravatar. Alright. Oh. Yeah. Well, this is a little bit like Space War in that you've got all these objects that have got their own gravity and they draw your ship towards them and you've got to thrust about, what am I saying? And shoot things. Interesting saying thrust about actually. Your ship looks like a crude drawing of a man's genitalia as drawn by a cheeky little schoolboy. Oh, yeah. Well, this has something about it. Do you die if you run into that? You do. I should really have known that. Well, there it is. I mean, I'm not going to play all of the games, but you can see the kind of quality you're getting. The 7800 games, I think, come off quite badly because this thing lacks the colours, and really it is the lack of colours that hurts it the most, but there's a lack of resolution as well, so very often it looks awfully messy, and that's a shame, because the actual design of the console itself and the joysticks is sound. The concept is sound. It's that they used that NES on a chip that it's not good. It's very good that the Flashback 2 used an Atari 2600 on a chip. That was a smart move. Those are now very hard to find. There is a Flashback 3 system out there which is ARM based. It uses the ARM chip, and everything is run entirely in emulation, and apparently the emulation isn't very good, and you really shouldn't bother with one of those. Should you bother with one of these? I'll leave that up to you to decide. I'm not going to say. I suppose if you haven't got an Atari and have never had an Atari and just want a taste of what the games are like a little bit, like a very rough approximation, then yeah. But if you're looking for that old Atari nostalgia to relive your childhood experiences of gaming, no, you'll be disappointed. But if you can find one cheap, like really cheap, it's probably worth it just for that absolutely fantastic joystick. Buy one for the joysticks, plug them into a 7800. Yeah, it's worth it for that. Okay, thank you for watching.